Hey guys, I'm Mp3 Beats and today I have a classic mix breakdown for you. The track that I'm gonna use for today is not your typical trap song. It's a really cool track, fast rapping with some amazing lyrical skills. The artist D.Cure, the track Another Dude. This is already released. I'm doing this mix breakdown because D.Cure will release an album. It's called Clean and I have a really special video coming up with D.Cure. It's a mix breakdown, but this time I will talk about everything. D.Cure showcased his home studio, how he records things, what he uses. I will break down the processing, so be on the lookout for that video. It's gonna be a really cool one. That type of video was requested a lot, so it's coming. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the like button. Let's get right into it. First, let me play you the track. It sounds like this.
Anybody want it, come and get it. You'll be running from me in a minute. You've been rapping for the photo finish. The radio sound never authentic. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Y'all sound identical. Don't flow no ventricle to hear it no medical. Then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimum requirement to fire in your living room. Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, no PVC. I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit of asthma. Trying to rap, come see what I mean. Anybody.
This is how the processed vocals and processed mix sounds like. Let me bypass everything and you will hear what I had in the beginning.
Anybody want it, come and get it. You'll be running from me in a minute. You've been rapping for the photo finish. The radio sound never authentic. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Y'all sound identical. Don't flow no ventricle to hear it no medical. Then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimum requirement to fire in your living room. Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, no PVC. I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit of asthma. Trying to rap, come see what I mean.
Now let me start breaking down the processing. I'm gonna start with the lead vocal because that's the important thing. As you can see, I have no processing on the actual audio track. I've done all the processing on the verse bus. This is the bus where most of the time I send my lead vocals to. I'll start with the send. As my main reverb, I'm using 7 Heaven Professional. This is how the track sounds with it.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimum requirement to fire in your living room.
Pretty long, it's a 3-second reverb. I like it, I don't care if it's that long. It doesn't mess up with the flow or anything like that. As the main delay on this vocal, I've used an Echo Boy.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimum.
Pretty filtered, pretty low in the mix. And I also have some delay throws on the end of the verse and on this section right here.
Y'all sound identical. Don't flow no ventricle to hear it no medical. Then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rap mode. Trying to rap, come see what I mean.
I'm also using an Echo Boy for that. Now let's start with the processing done on this bus. First in the chain, a corrective EQ.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimum requirement to fire.
Cleaning some of that really low end and some of that mud coming from 200 Hertz. A really small dip.
The fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen.
The vocals had a really nasal sound in that region. Next up, a de-esser.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimal requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen.
Next in the chain are Voxed. I've used it just to control the dynamics of the vocals just a tiny bit.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rise and never credible. Find me your pinnacle, that is inevitable. But no, I got a minimal requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen.
I'm also adding a bit more volume and the RVox brings some of the mud back in. So next in the chain is C4. I'm using my preset controller. You can download it right now from my website. It's free. With this multi-band compressor, I'm controlling the entire spectrum. For the low band and the mid band, I'm also reducing the gain, using it in a similar way as an EQ.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping got a minimal requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, no PVC. I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit of asthma, trying to rap, come see what I mean. You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rhymes and they're incredible.
Next in the chain I have the sauce. I really like the saturation on it and the chorus. I'm also using a bit of compression with the dab settings, and I'm also high passing at 110.
Incredible, find me your pinnacle, that is invisible, but no, I got a minimal requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, no PVC. I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit of asthma, trying to rap, come see what I mean.
With the sauce I'm making the vocals a bit more aggressive and more in your face. CLA two-way.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rhymes and they're incredible. Find me your pinnacle, that is invisible, but no, I got a minimal requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, no.
And as you can see, I'm barely touching the needle, just a touch of compression. Last in the chain is this SSL channel strip. I'm using the EQ section of it, reducing some of the top end with a shelf, cutting some 3K with a narrow Q, cutting some 2.5 and removing some of the mud. This is with it.
That tube, no PVC. I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit of asthma, trying to rap, come see what I mean. You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rhymes and they're incredible. Find me your pinnacle, that is invisible, but no, I got a minimum requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, no PVC. I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit of asthma, trying to rap, come see what I mean. You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rhymes and they're incredible. Find me.
And this is the vocal processing done on the verse bus. Now on the vocal bus where all the vocals in the session are going, I also have a corrective EQ doing some cutting, a Suit 2, Smart Comp, just a tiny bit of compression, and a de-esser last in the chain. I also have side chain going out to Suit. I will show you the processing done on the beat right now. On the beat I have Suit 2. This is triggered by the vocals. As the beat is really full, it's really mid-range heavy, especially in the vocal range. That mid-range where the vocals need space. I'm using it in mid-side. On the beat I think that the drums are a bit too hard hitting, covering way too much of the vocals. This is one magic plugin that you can use when you're dealing with mixing MP3 beats with vocals, especially when you're dealing with beats that have some issue, like in my case the drums I think that are too hard hitting. This plugin is from Isotope, from Ozone. It's called Master Rebalance. You can adjust the volume of certain things in a already mixed stereo track. For example, you can change the volume of vocals or the bass or the drums. Plugin on with some drastic settings.
You're no medical.
With this plugin, I'm taming this snare without changing the feel of the beat. This is a must-have plugin if you're dealing with MP3 beats or wave beats. The second suit is dealing with the snare even more, trying to suppress it a bit. This is how the track sounds if I bypass the processing done on the beat.
You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway on the rhymes and they're incredible. Find me your pinnacle, that is invisible, but no, I got a minimum requirement to fire in your living room, Malcolm in the middle on screen. Over on that tube, I be looking like Stevie, trying to breathe with a bit more, trying to rap, come see what I mean. You're no medical, then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway.
A really big difference, and I think this is what helped the vocals to cut through the mix. It's a pretty busy beat with a big bass and a huge snare. Now let me show you what I have on the ad-libs.
Whoa, 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 y'all sound identical.
Again, I have no processing done on the actual ad-libs. I have the processing done on the ad-libs bus. The sauce doing the heavy lifting in terms of processing. I have some mild saturation, some chorus, high pass at 300, low pass at 3.5K, parallel compression, some reverb and some delay. This is how the ad-libs sound with the sauce.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
and C4 just controlling the lower mids.
Oh no, ventricle, whoa, 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 y'all sound identical. Don't flow, no ventricle to go. Y'all sound identical. Don't flow, no ventricle to go.
You might think that the ad-libs are a bit too heavy, but the ad-libs are playing in gaps, so I can have the ad-libs fuller. That's why I have this sort of processing. Another thing that I want to show you is how I've created a bit of excitement on this specific drop. I've used parts of the beat just to add more excitement to this break, and I've processed those parts a bit different, and this is how it sounds in context.
Y'all sound identical. Don't flow, no ventricle to gear no medical. Then you had a bad edible. We tripping anyway. I'm a rhymes and they're incredible. Find me a pinnacle that is impossible, but no, I got a minimum requirement to fire in your living room. Malcolm in the middle.
And this is how I've mixed another dude from D.Cure. Light processing, nothing too crazy. I like having his vocals a bit more raw, a bit more aggressive. As a bonus, I will make this session available for free for all the gold members on my website. You can download it right now just to check it out and see all the processing that I've done on the other tracks. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and see you guys really soon. Cheers.
I don't wanna just be another dude.